So, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. I returned for part 4 for this game. I got some help from people in my free company. So you go to the Flame Quartermaster. There you go. Exchange 200 seals for a Flame Chocobo insurance. Looks like we already got that. Whoops, I completely forgot about that. We already got the tokens. Thank you so much for that, guys, with my free company. Thank you. Quest here. It's a good thing I asked help. Want a bird issued, you say? Then I'll need to see your Flame Chocobo issuance. Yes. Everything appears to be in order. A moment, please. I'll be right back with your Chocobo. And here he is. The fellow has been in high spirits the past few bells. He must have sensed that his master was coming. Now then, to make it official, you'll want to give your noble steed a name. Oh, Quee! That's so cute. I like cute things. Whee! That's how I interpreted that. I think I found something. I think I thought of an interesting name. How about we call it this? How about we name this Chocobo Samai? Quee! I dare say he likes his name. Here is your very own Chocobo whistle. Simply blow into it and your feathered friend will come bounding to your side. But do forgive him if he doesn't respond when summoning crowded city areas or monster-infested lairs. Chocobos are stout-hearted creatures, but they have their limits. And lastly, I present you with your Chocobo Rider's license, as is required by law. And that concludes all the formalities. I wish you and your Chocobo long years of fulfilling companionship. Hail, adventurer! I bid you welcome to the Adder's Nest. Do you seek to entwine your destiny with the twin adder? Good evening, Commander. Sorry to disappoint you, but other business brings us here today. Ida and Papalumo, always a pleasure to see the two of you. My men tell me you quest in the name of the scions of late. Quite so, Commander. A little bird told us that the Twin Adder was in need of our adventuring prowess. Aye, your little bird sings true. No doubt you've heard that we are investigating the Sylphs, that curious beast tribe that calls the depths of the Twelveswood home. The Sylphs are, for the most part, a peaceful bunch, much to the delight of the Elder Seedseer, who has no desire to see her people embroiled in yet another fruitless war. The Twin Adder is of the same mind, and this precisely for this reason that the Sylph's relation to the primal Ramu has raised a flag of warning amongst our ranks. Friendly as they may appear, Beastmen will be beastmen. Should there be even a sliver of chance that the summoning of the primal might disturb the balance between Grenadier and the Sophic tribes, it is a possibility we cannot ignore. Better to be safe than sorry, indeed. Do we strike our Ramu, or leave the Sylphs to their own ways? That is the question. Yet I find myself lacking ample knowledge to arrive at an answer. Opinions abound within Grenadia, but to listen only to one's own is among the greatest mistakes a commander can make. I would hear from the other side, the Silps themselves, and seek an impartial party to serve as my liaison. That is where you Scions come in. The Silps of Little Sarlis remain untempered and have held many a productive dialogue with our people. I would hear their candid thoughts on their tempered brethren. That said, I urge you to exercise due caution. Silpic tradition and etiquette bear little resemblance to our own. It would not to have any cross-culture faux pas get in the way of a productive parley. En route to Little Solace, you will come upon the Hawthorne Hut. Our officer stationed there can enlighten you as to how to win the Sylph's favor. May your expedition be a worthwhile one. A friendly palaver with the Sylphs? This should be a pleasant enough diversion. The Hawthorne Hut, was it? Why, I believe the ferry departing from Westshore Prior should take us straight there. A friendly palaver indeed. I hope this will be as straightforward as you say, Papalimo. Aye. The ferry docked at the base of this hill will carry you across the lake to the east shroud. Once you are sure, head due east and you should find the Hawthorne Hut without much trouble. I happen to be heading across the lake to Sweet Bloom Pier in the east shroud. Indeed, I am Ameline of the Twin Adder. I understand you're here to learn of the Sylphs, yes? For all their whimsy, they are a wary lot, particularly since the Empire has come to the Shroud. Earn their trust, however, and they're as friendly as any folk. They have their quirks, but so do we all, no? Would you know more? You do well to speak with the master of this hut, Rolf. He's forgotten more about the Sylphs than I'll ever know. Come to learn a thing or two about the Sylphs, have you? I'll tell you one thing. They're a peculiar folk. How peculiar, you ask? Well, just let me tell you. They're Big pardon, my friend. My memory's just not what it used to be. I've seen much and more in my adventuring days, and it's all a clutter in my noggin now. Though I've shared my stories with those around the hut before, you might have more luck with them. The Sylphs? Yes, Father's told me his stories plenty of times. What I've always found most captivating is how their concept of etiquette is almost completely alien to our own. You do best not to underestimate them on account of their childlike looks, lest your face end up on a mess of glyphs, squiggles, and chocobo scratches. The quickest way to a quiver woman's heart might be through her stomach, but don't even think of trying to foist your foodstuffs on a sylph. They sustain themselves simply by bathing in the sun, or so Rolf once told me. The sylphs? Intemperate tricksters and troublemakers, that's what they are. One day, they're drawing mobile faces on our mask. The next, they're sending our young sentries falling to the bottom of a ravine. Tell them to stop, and they just laugh at you. Rolf claims they harbor no ill will, but I dare say such pranks are no laughing matter. Oh, of course. Hearing your stories, well, my stories, has brought the memories flooding back to me. I feel like dancing. Yes, nothing brings people together quite like a little toe-tapping. A sylph told me long ago that dancing is a time-honored greeting among their kind. You do well to remember this. It just may help win the favor of our forest friends. Oh, still air, eh? Great. There's one more thing you should know about the sylphs. They don't take kindly to quests who show up empty-handed. To earn their trust, you do well to bring along a What was it again? And my wife Rosa and I were just speaking of the matter not days ago. Forgive me, friend. Speak to Rose at the comb. Her memory should prove more reliable than my own. The peace offering for the sylphs. Were it anyone else, I'd recommend a jar of honey. But I fear that wouldn't get you past front their doorstep, dear. No, their tastes run more to the unusual. Are you, perchance, familiar with milk root? So that's what we call the root of that most fiendish shaking, the Oshu. When chewed, it exudes a cloudy liquid that's said to induce curious visions in the Envy Bear. You'd not catch me dead wearing that stuff. But the sylphs seem to enjoy it to no end. I have not seen an Ochu around the comb in quite some time, but I did encounter a suspicious clump of grass the other day. Were you to stimulate it somehow? With some of this amber syrup? For example, you might be surprised at what comes out. Good luck. Ah, you're back. Was my wife able to direct you to a suitable offering? Milk root. But of course. Those sylphs quaff that cloudy stuff as quick as I do a flagon of mead. The effect's just about the same as well. Any road, a gift of milk root will have the sylphs calling you a friend. Calling you a friend and brother the moment they lay eyes on it. Now let me wrap that up for you. I'm starting to feel a bit woozy. I've taken the liberty of wrapping your milk root well and good. This should keep it nice and fresh. Not to mention, spare you from that god's awful stench. The sylphs love this stuff, but me, I'd rather bury my nose in Chocobo dung. I dare say the reek even rivals the breath of the morble that put an end to my adventuring days. But I can tell you that story another time. You have more important matters to attend to today, yes? The sylphs are an eccentric bunch, but I've shared their company enough to know their kind at heart. They'll not shun one whose intentions are true. May your parley be a fruitful one, friend, and do stop by on your return. There's a flagon of full flower mead with your name on it, if you would regale me with your adventuring tales. Ah, and before I forget, don't go traipsing off just yet. Emmeline here would have a word with you. Travel in safety, friend, and do pass along my regards to the winged ones. It's good to see your knowledge of Sylphic culture has matured. I see no reason to delay your mission any further. Upon your arrival, little Solace, seek out a young sylph by the name of Komuxio. He has served as an intermediary between our peoples on many an occasion, and has the close ear of his tribe's elder. I see that Hawthorne has furnished you with some of that malodorous root the sylphs so adore. I have something of far greater import for you to deliver. A missive from the elder Seedser herself. To summarize the letter's content in brief, it vouches for the integrity of our envoy. That would be you, and restates Grenadia's desire to maintain a harmonious relationship with our long-standing friends of the forest. The war with the Ixal has taken a toll on our resources. We can ill afford to get marred in another conflict. I need not impress upon you any further the importance of this mission. May the 12 see you return with good tidings. Walking one is not familiar to this one. This one does not trust strange walking ones. Strange dancing ones might be a different story, but this one expects no such thing. Walking one would should go home and leave this one be. This one would welcome walking one who moves like these ones. If walking one will talk to this one will answer. This one is a busy one, so walking one should speak with quick tongue. You know what these characters remind me of? That jellyfish race from Mass Effect. Walking one would bring gift to this one. Walking one is most kind. Walking one brings milkroot. Milkroot fills this one with great joy. This one gives thanks. Gives many, many thanks. Walking one carries message for Elder One. This one will deliver the message to Elder One. Walking one should not worry. Hello there! We are envoys from Grenada, and we are here to treat with your people. Aye, we come to pay our respects to your elder, and to learn from him more of your Lord Ramu. Who are these ones? These walking ones from Grenada? Walking one became a dancing one and brought milkroot, but walking one tricks this one. This one does not like tricks. This one will speak no more. Elder one is busy. Walking one should go home. Go home, you say? But the souls of Little Solace have always welcomed Grenadian envoys with open wings. The letter carried by Enio here is a note of peace penned by the Elder Caesar herself. Still, would you refuse us? This one's reasons are no business of walking ones. Elder one has no words for Grenada. Walking ones waste everyone's time. Well, I never turned away at the gates. Whatever did we do to deserve such a rude welcome? Was Enio's jig insufficiently jiggy? I'm as baffled as you, but something tells me recent events here are erstwhile fluttery friends feeling uncommonly wary. It would seem we have no choice but to ask around and see how we might earn their trust. Say, Enio, are you in the mood for dancing? That's right, dancing. You went through all that trouble to learn the Sylph's traditional greeting, but you've greeted hardly any of them. Why, if I were a Sylph, I'd be beside myself with delight to see an adventurer experiencing an interest in my culture. Me? Of course I'd be happy to join. Ow, ow, there go those bloody leg cramps of mine acting up again. Walking one's belly is rumbling. This one is not making a meal. This one is boiling bark and flower seeds to dye thread. Color must be jolly, and so must great making. Ooh, walking one knows jolly dance. Jolly dance fills this one with good cheer. Let these two be friends. This one is weaving cloth. Walking one would know more. This one does not trust walking ones who do not show respect. Walking one would be a friend to these ones. This one is overjoyed, but this one keeps the ways of weaving a secret. Even if walking one learned the secret, walking one could not weave in the same way. What does walking one want with this one? Elder one warned this one not to get too friendly with walking ones. Ah, walking one is a friend to these ones. Friendly like gracious elder one of Forest City knows how to dance into these ones' hearts. Enio, would you like to hear the good news? Or the better news? The good news is that your lovely dancing has brought smiles and high spirits to all of the Solace. The better news? Why, I've thoroughly recovered from those accursed leg cramps. Onward to our next adventure. Enio, as an adventurer, you are no stranger to helping distressed folk, I'd wager. Tales of good deeds are quick to spread. The adventurer who comes to the aid of the local populace can go from stranger to hero overnight. No doubt you see what I'm getting at. The Sylphs who make their home in Little Solace do so having been driven from their woodland home. Surely, they have their fair share of troubles. Seek out troubled Sylphs and see what might be done to ease their worries. A sound plan, would you not say? That said, the Sylphs are not known to share their worries with outsiders. You would be better off inquiring with Hero Immediate of the Grenadians who reside here. She is most likely to be privy to the sylph's troubles. Praise be to the elementals! I cannot express how happy I am to see an adventurer with a truly gentle heart. The sylphs of Little Solace are sorely in need of aid. Pray hear me out. Being a temporary settlement, Little Solace wants amenities, not least a stout set of defenses. Consequently, beasts from moms around are for free to wander in and terrorize the hapless residents. The Ziz garlands and all knots that roam these parts are especially troublesome, but slaying one of each should serve as a warning to the rest. Furthermore, perhaps you could gather 3 brownie brushes as well. The rule 3s again. They play an important role in Sylphic culture. I do not claim to know the details, and what with such feral beasts prowling with the forests, they are not easily come by. When you are done with the deeds, seek out Komuxio. He is slow to warm to outsiders, but your good intentions will not be lost on him. My own experience speaks to this. There it is. Dancing One is still here. Dancing One can dance all day. This one's trust is not so easily earned. Dancing One brings brownie brushes for this one. This one can dye thread once more. This one is pleased. Dancing One kills bitey buzzy one. This one hates bitey buzzy ones. Dancing One is kind. Too kind. Many walking ones come to see these ones' abode, but few are friendly like Dancing One. Perhaps this one was wrong not to trust Dancing One after all. This one asked Dancing One for forgiveness. These ones have many troubles since walking ones last came to our abode. This one must be careful, always careful. But Dancing One is not like the other walking ones. This one can trust Dancing One. This one would ask Dancing One for help. Strange walking ones with the bodies of steel come to the home of these ones. This one thinks steel ones comes from the Empire. When Empire goes, many living ones become dead ones. Trees fall and bushes burn. These ones' home is in danger. Danger! This one begs of Dancing One to help this one no more. Dancing One is friends with these ones and walking ones, yes. Dancing One must speak to these ones here and walking ones in hot house and find out more. This one has bad feeling. This one fears steel ones are after something. But this one should speak no more. Go, Dancing One. This one depends on kindness of Dancing One. Strange steel walking ones? Yes, this one has seen. Steel walking ones carry big boxes. Maybe walking ones hunt for shiny treasure. This one likes treasure. Shush! Shush, this one says. Steel walking ones are scary, like touched ones. This one hates scary, and scary ones have scary friends. Fearsome types clad head to toe in steel, you say. Imperial soldiers, no doubt. I couldn't tell you what they're plotting, but I'm sure it's nothing good. Men clad in strange armor? Why, now that you mention it, I did see some suspicious types of late. They were gathering deep in the forest. I simply assumed they were adventurers. This one is happy to see Dancing One return. What did Dancing One learn? This one sees. Still walking ones come from Empire, carry boxes and go walking deep through trees. As this one thought, still walking ones are up to nasty, no good things. This one knows forest well. Still walking ones try to hide, but this one will find them. This one would borrow Dancing One's map. This one makes mark right here. This is where steel ones hide. This one knows. Dancing Ones will go looking for steel ones. Yes. Dancing One is back. This one brought sign of relief. This one was worried. Dancing One found something? Dancing One found paper inside a box? This is a message from Empire? This one can read walking one symbols. Message paper has names of foods and rocks. Food and rocks were inside boxes. This one knows. But this one does not understand. Food and rocks mentioned all come from home of these ones. How do still walking ones know how to find them? Is there sneaky one hiding behind this one's wings? Snooping one sells secrets to steal walking ones. This one fears for this one's home. But dancing one has helped this one much today. Dancing one must promise to always be friend to these ones. Helpful one arrives at a good time. This one needs helpful one's help. One of these ones named Claxio ventured outside Little Solace alone. Alone is unsafe. Helpful one must find Claxio. Claxio struck west after leaving the settlement. Hurry before Claxio ends up in the belly of a beastly one. What? Walking one wants this one to return to Little Solace? Don't make this one laugh. This one is wary of living with those who are not these ones. This one wants to be alone. These ones rely on walking ones for everything. No better than those ones that summoned a primal one. Small wonder this one chose to leave. This one thought this likely a place to build a home, but then meddling one arrives, forces this one to go deeper into the forest. Meddling one is forbidden from following this one. Away with meddling one. What? Claxio refused to return to these ones and went deeper into the forest? But this one saw touched ones lurking in the forest. Helpful one must hurry. Hurry and find Claxio. Helpful one should reach for spools of thread on the forest floor. Those things will lead helpful one to Claxio. But hurry. Hurry before touched ones take Claxio away. Meddling one is back. This one told meddling one to be gone. Tell Komuxio that this one will never go back. Never! Touched ones should go away too. This one is good one. Everyone should just leave this one alone. Be on guard, Enio. These sylphs have been tempered, brought under thrall of the primal Ramu. Akin to the Amalja tempered by Ifrit, these sylphs exist only to serve their deity. They'll not answer to words, only steal. I take no pleasure in this, but it must be done. We completed. Oh, that was quick. This one is safe. This one was so scared. Claxio. This one has been worried. So very worried. Is Claxio unharmed? Still in possession of wits? Komuxio. And meddling one as well. Why are these two here? These two came to rescue Claxio. That Claxio is safe fills this one with joy. Komuxio, forgive this one. This one did not mean to run away from Little Solace. This one was just afraid. These ones who live at Little Solace were changing, becoming friendly with other ones. This one feared that these ones were forgetting who these ones are, like touched ones did. But this one was wrong. This one can see that now. Meddling, helpful one. This one is grateful. This one will return to Little Solace to be with Komuxio and friendly ones. Well, that should see to that. Let's say we return to Little Solace as well. I, for one, could do with a nice hot bath. This one thought Claxio was lost forever. Helpful one saved Claxio. Now these ones can be family again. This one has known many walking ones, even many kind walking ones. But helpful one is kindest and strongest of all. Helpful one is a hero to these ones. Helpful one will bring these ones and walking ones closer together. This one knows. This one would take helpful one to see elder one. Helpful one will bring these ones and walking ones closer together. This one knows. This one would take helpful one to see elder one. But elder one is... This one must ask kind one's forgiveness. This one made promise to take kind one to see the elder one, yes? But this one cannot. This one cannot because elder one is not here. Elder one is not anywhere. Elder one went into forest yesterday, but has not come back. This one is worried. Elder one often goes into forest, but never for this long. Kind one will help find elder one, yes? Near where elder one disappeared is the home of a walking one named Buscarron. Buscarron may know what happened to elder one. This one would talk to Buscarron, but walking ones do not always trust these ones. Would kind one talk to Buscarron for this one? And kind one comes from Grenadia, yes? In Grenadia live many kind ones, yes? This one begs of kind one. Please go to Grenadia and ask fellow kind ones for help. And please hurry. These ones are not safe until elder one returns. Well, if it isn't our intrepid ambassador, how fare your diplomatic efforts with the Sylph tribes? Their elder one's gone missing, you say? Why, if he were to end up in the hands of the tempered ones, we'd have a crisis on our hands. You can assure yourselves that my sharpest-eyed serpents will be on the lookout night and day. No stone must be left unturned. I would ask you to call upon Guillermo at Bent Branch Meadows and deliver the message that the wood whalers are needed in the search effort. A message from Commander Halo, you say? The Sylph Elder has vanished? Worry not, friend. The wood whalers have eyes under every leaf, behind every branch. If the Elder is anywhere in these forests, we shall find him. Well met, adventurer. We have the finest grog and grub this side of... not here to fill your belly then. Ah, a hunger for news, is it? Ah, there's been a talk of a sylph lurking hereabouts, but I couldn't rightly say if it be the elder you seek. Those woodland scamps all look alike, short of painting one red and another one blue. Most folk would struggle to tell two of them apart. If you have the time, maybe you could stay for a while and see what the gods have in store. You never know. You might even stumble across the Sylph Elder yourself. No word on the Sylph Elder yet, but I'm sure it's only a matter of time. In the meantime, how about doing a favor for old Buscarron in return? Right. Then let's put you to work. There's a customer outside who's spoiling for a fight, and I need you to cool him off for me. No need to go cracking at any skulls, though. Just take this tub of cold water and douse the drunkard. Tends to do the trick. My patrons can swill grog all night and carouse loud enough to wake the dead if they wish. But as soon as it turns violent, I've got to put my boot down. What are you staring at? You want to keep them eyes in your face? Ugh, Noficus teats. That's cold. What do you mean, no fighting? This dusk-white scum was... Yeah, I know the rules. That bastard gets to keep his skin. For now. Thanks for stepping in there, friend. Not that I couldn't handle myself against a bleeding milksop like that bloke. And I don't want to cause no trouble for the Buscarron. You know, having to mop up blood and bits of teeth and the like. Nicely done, Enio. I'll not have my patrons picking fights with each other ever. Oh, wait a minute. Let me do that again. I could have done a little better. Nicely done, Enio. I'll not have my patrons picking fights with each other over a bit of petty prejudice. In case you didn't see, the bloke who caught the brunt of that outburst is a Duskwhite Elysian. There are people who shun cities to live in the wilds, making them no better than brigands in the eyes of many. To be fair, the Duskwhites can be an unruly lot, but they ain't so bad once you get to know them. And it don't seem right to bar a whole race of people from the druthers for the misdeeds of a few. There should be at least one place where anyone willing to pay the coin and drink in peace is welcome, don't you think? I appreciate all the good you've done for our patrons. If you aren't disinclined, I have a favor of my own to ask you. There's a Kikern friend of mine. You see, name of Titiron, a good lad. It was right after the calamity that I came across him fallen in the shroud. He nearly died in all the havoc. So, I took him in and nursed him back to health best I could. He worked here at my druthers for a spell after that. Got to talking about striking out on his own. He did. And not long after cast his lot with a merchant bound for Lasnosia. Well, just so happens I got to cleaning up around here and came across something of his. This scarlet earring. I know he was fond of the thing, but he must have just forgotten when we left. So, I'd like to see that it gets to him. Can't say for sure where he ended up, but might be a friend of mine can. A rugged fellow named Bainsing. You can find him on Hawker's Alley in Limsa Lamensa. He knows everything of the comings and goings of merchants there. You found your way to Hawker's Alley, friend. A Kirkern, what word of the druthers? Ah, you speak of Teteron. Related to that Yukrum bloke just over there by some blood or another. Two of them put together and were making good coin. But old Teteron up and left Limsa not long ago. Couldn't say as to why or where. You're better off asking Kyokron himself. He can be tight-of-lipped, though I warn ye, best to take this chicken egg with ye. Little bastard loves the bloody things. Heh, good to hear about old Busk, though. Sounds as though he ain't changed a bit. Just like him to send Venture along. Too shy to come to his own self. Gods, I miss drinking with that fool. Customer! Be welcome! Not customer. Not come with custom. Kyokron busy with business. Too busy for blatter. Chicken egg! Kyokron love chicken egg. Love chicken egg more than love customer. Thank you, Naito. Looking for Titiron. Titiron no here no more. Titiron leave Limsa. Titiron go look for sparklies. Now working at trading post. Good trading post. Forget where trading post is. Weinberg no Titiron. Weinberg no trading post. Weinberg at ferry docks. You go to ferry docks. Kyokron forget things. Weinberg remember things. You talk to Weinberg, now Kyokron. Titiron? I seen him. That is to say, I saw him. He was headed somewhere up north, by way of the ferry to Aliport. Might as well head there and see what you can suss out. The skipper here can take you there. When ye arrive, I'd start by asking Affluet. He's an old hand what knows a great deal about great many things. Titiron? I saw him. That is to say, I seen him. He took himself north, through Skull Valley, into Oakwood. Was looking for a place run by his fellow Kickern. I reckon he meant the one right on the shore of Bronze Lake, Mimiron's trading post. Follow the road and you're sure to find it. Customer, be welcome. Not customer. Not come with custom. Bring something for Titiron. Titiron, forget this. Forget Adrotters. Titiron swore would never forget earring, but never forgot. Forgot. Titiron, thank. Titiron, thank. Good Buscarron doing good. Good Buscarron, good Titiron. Titiron miss good Buscarron. Good Buscarron help Teteron. Teteron dead without good Buscarron. Must give thankies. Many, many thankies. Teteron make cake and firewater for Buscarron. Buscarron love firewater. You help Teteron make firewater? Need thingies to make. Need many, many thingies. Need curl pop whiskers. Need 3 good curl pop whiskers. There we go. Teteron make firewater for Buscarron. You bring thingies Teteron need. You brought all thingies. Teteron make firewater now. Make good firewater for good Buscarron. Teteron start making firewater now. Good firewater take time. More good. You come back later. Teteron make firewater. Good. Good firewater. You take Buscarron. Good firewater for good Buscarron. Tell Buscarron no drink now. Tell put away 1 year. 1 year make best flavor. Teteron hopes Buscarron happy. Teteron give Buscarron thankies. Many, many thankies. You tell Buscarron. Teteron make big shop Sunday. Biggest shop in Eorzea. Many, many sparklies. All thanks to good Buscarron. Ah, you've returned. Thank you for seeing Teteron's belongings to him. What's this? For me? Kikir Firewater. So he remembers my fondness for the drink, does he? Why that old... bloody hells. Who's cutting onions back there? He says to shelve it for a year, does he? That sounds about right. I'd have to wait, but I reckon it'll be worth it. This stuff has an aroma and body unlike any other drink I know. It's gonna be a long year. What say you come back then, friend? We'll see if we can make it through this bottle together. Damn it all to the 7th hell. This is madness. It's Aldis. He's been arrested by the Brass Blades. They claim he was plotting to assassinate the Sultana. This is utter nonsense. He has no motive to do so. And whatever I've said about the man, he would never resort to using poison. The Alacran must be behind this. They have failed to kill him time and again. And now they're reaching out to their monetarist allies. I didn't want to believe women when he said he had such influence, but wait, that's it. If anyone can help us unravel this plot, it's women. He has a reputation for knowing things he shouldn't, after all. Find women. See what he can tell us. Aldis is many things, but he is not a murderer. I was wondering when you might come along, Enio. Frankly, I'm surprised Aldis went so quietly. You have to know there's no walking away from this. Aldis is something of an enigma. He and Leovold were 2 of the greatest gladiators ever to grace the Blood Sands. But he threw all that hard-fought glory away for a few Gilmore. See, the average Olden loves a good Colosseum fight. And what better way to make a gladiator spectacle more entertaining than wagering on the outcome? So, when it got out that Aldis was orchestrating a match-fixing scheme of untold proportions, well, you can imagine the shock and anger that people felt. He was expelled from the Colosseum, and his wins were stricken from the record. Your guildmaster Mylla got the worst of it, though. Not only was her friend exposed as a fraud, but around the same time her father fell ill and passed away. There were some oddities surrounding his death, too. 'Twas rumored he took his own life out of shame for his disgraced pupil, or that he might have even been murdered by the man. Baseless conjecture, really. But it made Aldis look that much worse. In the end, Mylla lost 2 of the most important men in her life, and was forced to take charge of the guild alone. And Leovold? He tried to go on it. Let me try it again. And Leovold? He tried to go to it solo on the Blood Sands, but it wasn't the same. Without Aldis, his career was finished. Now you know the nature of the man you so desperately want to save. Though judging from that look in your eyes, I gather you still have your reservations. Fine, then. Though you can't blame me for doubting a man found in his possessions of the Raggle's bile. This vile poison, rare and expensive too. Only the Core Brigade knows how to make it, I hear. Gods only know why they'd give it to Aldis. Could go to their headquarters at the Sepulch in southern Tanaland and ask them direct, I reckon. I have an aversion to direct confrontation, personally, but you don't, do you? By the by, should you save the poor bastard's life, tell him we're even, and I hope it was all worth it. Oops. Where have you been, Enio? Aldis has been given over into the custody of the Sacrarium. They mean to execute him. We must do something. Details of dealing between electrons. Okay, and we got ourselves the bio. This poison, is it? You have proof that the Alakan purchased it from the Corpse Brigade? Thank the gods you've done it. Quickly, we must show this to the official presiding over his execution on Highbridge. Go, now. The Sacrarium has sentenced you to death for your crimes against the Sultanate. Have you any last... Huh? Who are you and what do you want? These are bold accusations you make, adventurer. However, the Sacrarium has found the prisoner guilty in the eyes of gods and men, and he will be executed forthwith. Don't waste your breath, Enio. Thou scales have always yielded to wealth above all else, and Leovold spent a fortune to secure my sentence. Silence, criminal. And you, what are you waiting for? Do it. Where did that Aldis? Just couldn't stay away, could you? Well, at least I don't have to steal the headsman's axe. If the gods are to have blood this day, I'm afraid it won't be mine. Since you two are so devout, perhaps you'd be willing to offer yourselves in exchange. Mercy. Interfering with the law is a heinous crime. In fact, I believe it is punishable by death. Different battle music this time. I had a feeling this spectacle would draw you here. I should have dealt with you myself from the start. Come, let's dance, brother. So it's to be a rematch. Very well. I accept. Mylla and the others need you, Enio. Leave him to me. One more. Oh, we got more mobs. Okay. Let's get rid of the mage. Almost gone. There we go. Got this void slave. There we go. Just like that, we got it. We did it. Aldis! Aldis! You almost had me, Leovold. Stay back. I won't have your pity. You just had to have it all, didn't you? Just one victory. Just one bloody match. But your precious ego couldn't accept that. You ruined everything. Tell me, Aldis, how does it feel to lose your name, your legacy, everything you've ever loved? I want to know how much you suffered. Let it go, Leovold. It's over. Like hell's it is. I swear, you will never know peace. Not in this life or the next. Leovold, no! You know damn well neither of us will see Thal's realm. Let's go. Our comrades are waiting. I'm glad you were there, Enio. Without you, I doubt we could have defeated Delacran. I'm glad you were there, Enio. Without you, I doubt we could have defeated the Alacran. Have you ever considered the Colosseum? You make a wonderful attraction. Of course, you need a title that befits your prowess. Now that it's all over, you'll be staying, won't you? No, Leovold may be dead, but the Alacran are far from finished. I'd rather not linger and give them a chance to regroup and seek revenge. It is a true tragedy that I cannot enjoy the company of all those lovely ladies any longer. But I have faith that equally radiant beauties await me in distant lands. Aldis, Not another word, my dear. It's bad enough that the First Sword has permitted a disgraced gladiator to fraternize with her subordinates. Can you imagine the scandal if she became personally involved with the man? Nevertheless, I understand how you feel, Mylla. I'm known to have this effect on the fair sex. I should have let the headsman have his way with you. That way you might learn something of humility. Ah, but how am I supposed to remember the lesson without a head? Your father would be proud of you, Mylla. Don't ever change. Ah, yes. There's one more thing I wanted to say to you before I go, Enio. 7 years ago, before my last match on the Blood Sands, I was given an offer. A sultan's ransom in exchange for a loss. Leovold begged and pleaded, but I just couldn't do it. Call it honor or pride or whatever you like. I made my choice. And in spite of all that came of it, to this day I have no regrets. It's a simple thing to know what's right. Listen to your heart of yours, and it will never lead you astray. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm almost feeling tears going down into my. I almost feel like tears going down in my eyes right now when I saw that line. I think I may have a tearjerker sing in this game at some point. I don't know when, but we'll find out. Trust in your comrades. Have faith in your skills, and you will triumph over any adversity. And with that, I bid you all farewell. I better not to... Let me try that again. I better not have to wait 7 years to see that bastard again. There's still so much I want to... What in the seven hells are you looking at? This is a training hall. Why aren't you all training right now? You think all it takes to stand on the blood sands is a sword and a stupid grin? No! It takes years of hard work, an ocean of blood and sweat, and an unbreakable will. Every man and woman here has the potential to become a champion, but it is you, and you alone, who decides your destiny. Thank you, Mizzy, for that follow. Thank you so much. So answer me now, gladiators. Will you follow in the footsteps of your brothers and sisters and inscribe your names in legend? Aye. Your concern for my well-being is touching, albeit unwarranted. I'm fine. The guild is fine. Aldis is... Oh, who gives a damn about how Aldis is? More importantly, any time you waste worrying about the affairs of others would be better spent further honing your skills. Oh, there you are, Enio. Perfect timing. I've just heard a juicy bit of gossip that I know you're gonna be interested in. Apparently, and remember, you heard this first from me. The Sultan's Sworn Elite are sharing the secret skills and training of paladins. Incredible, I know. The Sultan's Sworn have an exclusive monopoly on the instruction of paladin skills. Once upon a time, if you weren't one of those officer track elites, then you had no chance to learn the arts. And competition to get to the top was very fierce indeed. Let me tell you. But anyone who joined had to swear an oath of fealty to the Olden Sultanate, which meant no more adventuring, no more daring-do, and no more Colosseum. Just languishing about in the palace all day polishing plate mail. That's why this news is so big. Now anyone with a bit of commitment can learn the skills of a paladin. And no memorizing the 55 commandments of the Sworn or any other nonsense either. This is a platinum opportunity that comes but once in a lucky adventurer's lifetime. Let this slip through your fingers and regret will be your just desserts. You need to go to the Royal Promenade in the Hustings Strip. Find the captain of the Sultan's Sworn Elite, Jenlyns is his name, and tell him how you're just dying to become a paladin. Yes, I am Jenlyns, member of the Sultan's Sworn Elite and servant of the Olden Sultanate. Unless my instincts deceive me, you have come to inquire about training as a paladin. If so, I would have your name, good sir. I am EnioHabev, sir. Enio, a fine name. I bid you welcome and salute your noble resolve. But if you aspire to paladinhood, you should understand what it means. A paladin swears allegiance to the Sultanate. A paladin shall be the sword and shield of the Sultanate. A paladin defends the people of the realm. Sellswords and gladiators and others of their ilk wield their blades for themselves. But a paladin serves the greater good. Do you understand me? The battle arts that the paladin learns have been held secret, nurtured, and perfected within the ranks of the Sultan's Sword Elite for nigh on these 600 years. Of all those sworn to protect the Sultanate, the soldiers, the mounted guards, and the knights, we are the elite of the elite. Our conviction unwavering, our hearts true, our swords skills without peer. But the glory of the Sultan Sworn, Well, much of it is buried in the past now. Our brotherhood grows smaller by the year. We are a shadow of what we once were. And the Sultana turns to sellswords to defend her palace. All this because of one traitor. No, because of a blot of dishonor left by one who shall not be named. And because of him, we have been forced to seek the help of able-bodied adventurers. And here you are. We shall instruct you in the Paladin military arts. You will not be inducted into the Sultan's Sworn, but serve as a free Paladin. However, first you will show us that both your sword and heart have metal, and you are worthy of the honor. In the ruins to the south of Little Alamigo, you will find an iron brazier. Light in, and the undead nearby will be drawn to the flame. Slay these monsters, and give their hearts to the fire. Return and present to me their ashes as proof of your deed. Now, would-be Paladin, show me the metal in your heart and steel in your blade. Cutscene. If you are in this place, searching for the undead, then you must be a petitioner seeking the secrets of the Paladin arts. But make no mistake, simply learning Paladin swordplay does not make you a Paladin, nor does the armor you wear, or the status you claim. I am just another aging free Paladin, but you would do well to heed my counsel. Strike off the shackles that bind your spirit, lift the visor that blinds, and find the true path of the Paladin. Here, you will be returning to the captain, yes? Then give him this crystal. The way you use that sword reminds me of a man I used to know. Mine eyes may be old, but they can see the truth well enough. Be a Paladin, strong and true. Devote yourself to the way and become a beacon of light. Bye-bye. Face the undead monsters who infest the ruins south of Little Amigo in southern Thailand. Defeat them and return with proof of your deed. Yes, that's what I needed. Proof that you have defeated the undead. You have shown that your heart is true and your sword has metal. I have no doubt that you will prove to be an attractive pupil. That is well, for there is much to learn. First and foremost is this. You are a Paladin now, a custodian of traditions, ancient and noble. A free Paladin has no master. Instead, he travels all lands, and in every place takes up the cause of the unarmed and defenseless. You swear fealty not to a lord, but to yourself. You are nobility amongst adventurers. You have taken your first steps on a new path, and you have earned the right to bear this. The soul of the Paladin. Upon its surface are carved the deeds of paladins of eras past. He who bears it commands the respect of all knights of honor. Bahamut's Fang, you already possess a crystal? And you say it was given to you by an unknown free paladin? Who told you to hand it to me? Where is this crystal of which you speak? I demand you show it to me at once. Curse him. He has made a mockery of the trial. That crystal you bear is indeed the soul of the Paladin. But it is disgraced, impure. It was stolen from the Sultan's Sworn. The man who gave you this soul is the very traitor whom I have been seeking these many moons. He is an oathbreaker who bent the knee to the Olden Sultanate and who swore allegiance to the Sultan Sworn, but then single-handedly sullied our name and trampled it underfoot until it was lost, perhaps forever. How dare he give counsel and honor on the Paladin way? This soul is polluted, and I must dispose of it. When you come to wield your sword as a paladin, the only soul you may wear is that which is bestowed by a captain of the Sultan Sworn. That traitor is no Sultan Sworn, still less a captain. By giving you a soul, he insulted not only the Brotherhood, but you too. Perhaps an adventurer like yourself finds our rules nothing more than a nuisance. But through reigns long and short, our forebears in the Sultan Sworn have preserved its rituals and traditions, and we are duty-bound to uphold them, even if men and women within our ranks scorn them as relics. It has been my fate to be named captain of the Sultan Sworn in these troubled times. Though I did not ask for this honor, I have bent my knee to the Sultana and sworn fealty, and I will fight to restore our honor and name. You wield a skilled blade, and more importantly, you have met the traitor face to face. Your great task as a paladin will be to help me bring him to justice. You must ready yourself, marshal your resources, and hone your skills until the time comes when you are able to discharge your duty. The journey will be long, but you are paladin now, and honor binds you as surely as an oath. The unmistakable smell of Chocobo clings to you, adventurer. Would I be correct in assuming that you have your own trusty steed? Aye, I thought so. Now tell me, is your bird battle trained? If not, you might consider your seeking the advice of Lucaliot over at Brent Branch Meadows. The Ishgardian native is something of a prodigy in all matters concerning our fine feathered friends. He should be able to help you attain greater affinity with your bird. Greetings, adventurer. Is there something you need? You wish to have your Chocobo trained in combat? This is no small request you make. Wait a minute, try that again. You wish to have your Chocobo trained in combat? This is no small request you make. Riding your bird is one thing. Asking it to take hurts in your name is quite another. I will help train you. I will help train your Chocobo, but on the promise that you will never unduly expose it to danger. Do I have your word? Very well. To begin, you will need a bunch of Gizal greens. You have my leave to pick one from the field yonder. Return here when you have it. Works. Have you acquired the greens? Superb. Then we shall get straight to it. Doubtless you already know this, but Chocobos are highly fond of Gizal greens. They love the leafy vegetable so much, in fact, that they will completely forget their fears in the face of danger. Thus, by feeding your bird the greens, you can prevail upon it to the fight beside you. And then, once called, it'll be up to you to direct its actions as you see fit. You will find that your Chocobo innately responds to a number of general commands. Give your bird an order, and it will act accordingly, and to the best of its ability. This simple yet effective methodology was developed by the Fortims family, one of the foremost houses in Ishgard. And that concludes your lesson. Of course, it is not enough to merely hear about practice. One must venture forth and attempt it oneself. Summon your Chocobo with a bunch of Gizal greens, and together make your way to Sorrel Heaven. The brood says that prowl the area ought to be a suitable challenge for you and your companion. Put down 3 of them, and return here. And lastly, by way of advice, I would recommend you keep an ample supply of Gizal greens on your person at all times. Our resident vendor will be able to provide you with as much as you can carry. Come on. We almost gotcha. There we go. So you have successfully negotiated your first few battles with your Chocobo. Well done. Tell me, how did it feel? Awkward? Was it not supremely reassuring fighting with your feathered companion? Your Chocobo can make up for your shortcomings or build upon your strengths. Indeed, there are countless ways the two of you might complement one another. Though, through some experimentation, you will come to find the approach that serves you best. Before I forget, I have one last parting gift. A saddlebag for your Chocobo. Carrying Gizzle Greens about can be quite cumbersome, after all, and there should be sufficient room for your personal belongings should the need arise. I pray it serves you well on your travels. There was word while you were away. Sylphs were seen in the wood, but near no lands of their own. No, this was a place near to here. A place we've never known a Sylph to come. Something must have given them cause to venture this far. More than like the missing Sylphs elders among them. Here, I marked the track where they were sighted on your map. Go see if there's anything to be seen. So, was there aught to be found in the wood? What did you come to? Galliens! In this part of the 12's wood? First Sylphs, and now Galliens, and all in the same place. It cannot be mere coincidence. Might the Galliens be following the Sylphs? Tracking them, or giving chase, mayhap? But no, not this far into the forest. The Whalers' spires are everywhere. Imperials could never have stolen past them all. How in the bloody hells could they? Unless someone guided them through. Someone who knew where the spires stand. And when the Whalers watch. A Grenadian traitor. I'm glad you've come, friend. There's something I wanted to talk to you about. You know, I said I thought we might have a traitor in our midst. Someone was aiding the Galliens. Well, I'm thinking I may have identified our suspect. There's a regular of mine who used to dine in on this soup. No. There's a regular of mine who used to dine on thin soup and sip his pint on account of not being able to afford another. But of late, he's taken to ordering my best wines and the finest cuts of meat I can lay my hands on. Were he a merchant, I'd probably think nothing of it. But this lad's a wood whaler. And wood whalers don't earn that kind of coin. By chance, I was musing on where the money was coming from when you first told me about the Guardians in the forest. And I couldn't help putting two and two together. Suffice it to say, if a whaler's working for the Empire, none of us is safe. The lad I'm talking about goes by the name of Laurentius. Last I heard, he was in the South Shroud. Find him, Enio, and if he is up to no good, put an end to it. And him, if it comes to that. Not long now. To think patrol routes and rations would fetch such a price. No more than I deserve, though. 'Tis little wonder the Empire's risen to such heights. If only the whalers paid men their worth. You! What did you? How long have you? Help! 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 Please, come quick, my friends. It is I, Laurentius. I am under attack. How? How did you? You just... I know nothing. I was on patrol. He just appeared. I thought you were working for the Galliens. How long do you mean to keep this up? What is it you imagine I've done? Enough! Enough, I say! It's over then. I sold maps and rations to the Empire. It was I. I meant no harm. I only wanted the coin. The whalers are good, strong. I was proud to join their ranks. Am proud. But they do not provide. They preach justice, honor, duty. But in the end, it is those with money who do as they will, who live as they will. So, I sought an opportunity to change my fortunes, and took it. All I've done for money. Endangered myself, my home, everything and everyone I love. Why? My actions have put your life in danger, too. Though you do not realize yet how much. Bloody idiot. Did you imagine that you had cornered me? It is not I who is cornered. Galliens, I brought the Elysian bastard. Permit me a question, if you will. Are all adventurers so deluded as to believe they can challenge the power of Garlemald? You would need a veritable mountain of gil to fund such an endeavor. Such is the cost of fighting great power, or of making it, or of remaking it, as we will, Grenadia. So that's the way of it. Swapped your hard bunk at the barracks for a feather bed in Garlemald, did ye? Huh. You there, Elysian. You stand here at Old Bush Wishno? Then you don't stand alone. Oh, how has it come to this? There we go. Impossible. How did you best the Empire's finest, and with bandits and poachers at your side? They are your sworn enemies. Why did they fight with you and not against you? Ah, but I know the answer only too well. Buscarron, this is his doing. His words are wont to inspire men to act, better men than I. Gods, what have I become? What have I done? I am sorry. No more will I pursue this folly. No more lies. No more bribes. I will go to the Order of the Twin Adder and confess my crimes. There is something I would like to tell you, Buscarron. Tell him Laurentius the Fool says, thank you. I feel as though a veil has been lifted from before my eyes. Aye, Laurentius confessed to his crimes. I just heard word from Twin Adder. Seems he marched straight into the nest and gave himself up. The lad's had quite a life, you know. His mother was killed by a brigand when he was only small. As a young man, he joined the Whalers, hoping to spare his fellow Grenadians the misery he'd known growing up. Trouble is, protecting Grenada is too big a job for one man, and he came to believe that he couldn't make difference, that he was hopeless. There are few things more dangerous than desperation, and a man lost in the dark is easily drawn to the glimmer of coin. I reckon he thought that if he couldn't change the lot of his fellow man, he might as well change his own. Thing is, he was making a difference, just not on his own. Somehow, he'd failed to grasp one simple truth, that those things we cannot do alone, we must do together. Eh? He asked you to thank me, did he? Then there's good in him yet. I just hope them at the other's nest are able to see it. What he's done ain't easy to forgive, but I'd like to think he'd be afforded the chance to make amends. But let us leave fates to the 12. I have other news for you, Enio. The Sylph Elder has been found. It's taken us a fair old while, but we finally got our hands on some reliable information concerning the whereabouts of your missing green friend. Ahem, his name is Frixio, and he's the eldest amongst the Sylphs of Little Solace. Long has he represented his kind in dialogue with the Grenadians. Yes, he's like a bridge between us and them. A small, leafy, green bridge that we can't find at the moment. And bridges are no use if you don't know where they are. That's why it's so important that we find him. There's an abandoned dungeon called the Thousand Maws of Totorak here in the South Shroud. It was by the entrance to the place that Frixio was seen, and not long ago neither. If you hurry, I reckon you'll find him. Walking ones, please help this one. This one needs help. These help to help the elder one. Poor Frixio. Poor Frixio. Whoa. Hold your chocobos. Take a deep breath and tell us what's wrong. Nice and slow. Elder One went into Totorak, but has not returned. This one is worried, so very worried. And you're right to be. The place fair crawls with nasties waiting to make a meal of anyone daft enough to wander in. What in the seven hells was he thinking, entering that bloody death trap? Elder One had no choice. Imperial ones were chasing Elder One. Please, walking ones must help Elder One. Help Elder One now. The fates conspire against us. Forgive my pragmatism, but Frixio is our best hope of reaching an accord with the Sylphs. Were we to lose him, all our efforts thus far will have been for naught. I will tend to her wounds. Ida, make haste to the Adder's Nest and request assistance. Understood. Enio, go to the Thousand Maws of Totorak and see that Frixio comes to no harm. Peace between man and sylph rests upon your success. By order of the Elder Seedseer, the dungeon known as the Thousand Maws of Totorak has been placed under the control of... What? The Sylph Elder is inside? Are you sure and you are sure of this? How in the seven hells did he manage to sneak by? God, strike me down for a purblind fool. You must find the Sylph Elder before he falls prey to the fields within. Entrance to Totorak is ordinarily restricted, but these are exceptional circumstances. Pray assemble a rescue party and enter as soon as you are ready. Okay, oh, there's more mobs coming in that way. Oh, no, that's not, no. False alarm. Okay, I think we almost got it. There we go, we got it. That went not too bad. Get out of poison, whoops. Nice. Finally, fresh air. Ah, Sinister One is gone. This one can leave this awful place. Did Walking One vanquish the many-legged one? Excuse me. Let me try that again. Did Walking One vanquish the many-legged one? This one is grateful to Walking One. This one is called Frixio, eldest of these ones of little solace. Ooh, backstory time. Backstory. Alpha Squad reporting, sir. Nothing of note at Larksar, sir. Understood. Return to Area 12. Damn it all. Where's that accursed Akon hiding? No sign of our wizened friend? I'm afraid not, my lord. Shall I order that the search perimeter be expanded? Absolutely not. We risk alerting the Grenadians to our presence. His Excellency bid us to avoid unnecessary confrontation. Loath though I am to admit it, I have found no evidence to suggest that Ramu will be grazing the mortal realm in the near future. I ask you, what good is a god who does not grant one's wishes? Were I a sylph, I should strongly consider finding myself another idol. Which reminds me, what of the sylphs we captured? A handful of them seemed to be in reasonably good health when I last looked. Apologies, my lord. I fear we may have been overzealous in our efforts to compel them to summon their icon. Really? Centaurion, were you not aware that vegetables bruise easily? It is well that I did not entrust you with the important task of making my dinner. Well, mayhap it was a kindness. Better dead in truth than dead to one's own god. I suppose, if you believe in such things. Dawn is upon us. Make ready to withdraw. Useless. We are so close to completion. I can fair taste it, but at this rate, no. I must be patient. Our efforts will bear fruit in due time. What was it you always said? Ah, yes. Though it mean bringing down the very heavens, who shall challenge the limits of possibility if not we? In that alone, you're right, Garland. But your star is long fallen, while mine doth begin to rise. And it shall burn so bright that Lord Van Balzer's ultimate weapon will seem a mere candle beside it. Those walking ones did for Noxia. This one is certain of it. This one fears that other taken ones also suffered the same fate. This one is convinced. Walking ones have black hearts, seek only to harm these ones. Walking ones are not to be trusted. Now, Naraxia, do not pass judgment too hastily. Not all walking ones are alike. Though there are devil ones among the walking ones, there are good ones also. I hope you guys like that evil laugh that I did. Does walking one feel unwell? This one would know what brings walking one to this place. Came to this one's rescue at Naraxia's bidding? Then this one owes walking one a debt of gratitude. Walking one has questions about Lord Ramu? Then this one will provide answers. But first, let these ones quit this lightless place. This one will return to Little Solace. When walking one is ready, please come and see this one. These ones may speak properly then. Then it is settled. Let this one accompany walking one outside. Cute. Ah, you're back. Tell me the Sylph Elder is well. Thank for the gods for that. I don't rightly know what to make of the rest of your tale. But I'm full glad Frixio didn't come to any harm. But there I go tempting fate. Run over to Little Solace and secure us peace with the Sylphs before aught else befalls us, eh? Rest assured, I'll send words to our friends of Gallien and the Twin Adder both. You've done Gridania a great service this lay, lad, and earned yourself a place of honor here at the Drotters in so doing. Be sure and come by whenever you feel like a drop of kicker and firewater. Say, friend, there's something I'd like to ask you to see delivered to the sylphs of Lil Solace. This Azima rose oil. It's a gift to celebrate the safe return of their tribe's elder and a token of Grenadia's desire to unite. The wood is not what it once was. The calamity changed the elementals, weakened them. Until their strength is returned, we must lend them ours to keep the wood safe. But ours alone will not be enough. We must have the strength of the sylphs as well. Only by working together and fighting together will we survive together. And the 12s would with us. The gift I ask you to bear is a symbol of the hope that both Grenadian and Sylph alike will live to see the light beyond this darkness. Okay. Oh yeah, that looks nice. A gift from Walking One, Buscarron? A gift for these ones? Such a lovely scent. This one has never smelled anything like this before. Walking One, Buscarron, and Adventuring One are very kind. Know that this one is deeply grateful. Many walking ones are scary. Many walking ones utter many lies and much deception. But this one is moved. Let all these ones be friends forever. This one has been expecting Walking One. This one fetches Elder One. This one is pleased to see Walking One again. Welcome to the home of these ones. Ah, there you are, Enio. We have just been hearing tell of your deeds of daring do. Well done! Ah, the walking ones who aided Noraxia. This one is grateful. A pleasure to have been of service. If you don't mind my asking, how did your misadventure come about? This one does not mind. The misadventures, as Walking One calls them, of this one began when Imperial ones entered the wood. Fearing trouble, these ones decided to watch Imperial ones closely. But these ones watched too closely, and Imperial ones noticed and tried to catch these ones. Having nowhere else to hide, this one fled into Totorak. Would that this one had not. In Totorak, a sinister one robed in black tried to feed this one to a many-legged one. A sinister one robed in black? Why do I have the feeling I should be more worried about that than I am? Elder Frixio, we come to you as emissaries of the nation of Grenadia. This missive bears the words of the Elder Seedseer. This one sees, so walking ones of Grenadia are fearful of Lord Ramu. Plainly put, yes. Your people summoned the Lord of Lovine but once. Yet that single occurrence occasioned a great alarm. But it's not as if the Grenadians dislike you or anything. Actually, it's just the opposite. They think of you as friends, and they don't want anything to get in the way of that. That's why the Elder Seedseer wrote to you. This one well knows and respects Horned One Kanin Sena. Be assured, like walking ones of Grenadia, these ones have no desire for conflict. These ones resorted to summoning Lord Ramu to protect the wood from Imperial ones. This one counseled against doing so, but was not heeded. Against this one's wishes, Lord Ramu was summoned, and all those ones who took part became touched ones. These ones once so desperately turned to touched ones back to normal ones, but did not know how, and still do not know. Touched ones, meanwhile, wanted to turn these ones into touched ones, and did know how. So this one fled to Little Solace with all those ones who did not wish to be bound to Lord Ramu. But walking ones of Grenadia need not fear touched ones or Lord Ramu. Unlike other primal ones, Lord Ramu is not callous and cruel. So long as walking ones do not trespass on these ones' ancestral homeland where touched ones reside, walking ones will not suffer thunderous judgment. But this one has spoken enough of touched ones. This one would speak instead of these ones. As this one said, these ones desire peace with walking ones of Grenadia, and so these ones ask for a chance to set things right. By way of an addendum, mortals who are tempered come to take on the qualities embodied by the primal in question. In the case of the sylphs, Ramu's influence has made them fiercely protective of their homeland. That explains why they're so hostile towards trespassers. But what about the abductions? A fine question, Ida. The abductions are, I believe, an expression of the tempered sylph's desire for reconciliation. Another quality traditionally associated with Ramu, in the crudest manner imaginable. They seek to bring their fellows back into the fold. A timely reminder that the challenges posed by each primal are unique. Elder Frixio, we thank you for making your will known to us. The people of Grenadia will rest easier in the knowledge that they and the sylphs are united in their desire for peace. Wishing to cooperate, this one has written down the feelings of these ones. Please see that these feelings are conveyed to Horned One Kan Isina. And with that, I believe we can lay the matter of Ramu to rest. That Sylph's elder is very reasonable, I must say. You could learn a lot from him. Was that a jibe? If so, I feel it only fair to observe that one of us wouldn't recognize reason if it punched her in the nose. Did I say fair? I meant reasonable. Anyway, we're going to head back to the Waking Sands and tell Minfilia all about it. Fear not. We will be sure to mention the instrumental part you played in all of this. And while we see to that, we should appreciate if you would deliver Frixio's missive to the Edger's Nest. Elder Frixio, we humbly thank you for your time. It has been an honor. The honor is this one's. Together, let the walking ones of Grenadia and these ones find a way to live in peace. Please wait, walking one Enio. This one has yet to give walking one a token of this one's appreciation. When these ones summoned Lord Ramu, these ones were gifted this crystal. This one would now bestow the crystal upon walking one as symbol of these one's trust. Oh, a piece of the puzzle, I guess. I think I remember this. So we got 3 more. So we got 3 more to go. So that looks like we were halfway through a Realm Reborn after all. This one was not mistaken about Walking One. Walking One is destined to walk a fate far crueler than this one can imagine. We're not halfway. A brilliant light from within Walking One enveloped the crystal. This one saw. Mark this one well. That crystal will one day be of use to Walking One. Walking One must keep that crystal safe at all times. Before Walking One returns to Grenadia, this one would ask Walking One to watch Touched Ones. So long as Touched Ones are not troubled, Touched Ones will not make trouble. If Walking One witnesses Touched Ones making no trouble, mayhap Walking One can testify to Walking Ones of Grenadia that these ones mean no harm. These ones' homeland is fraught with danger. This one marks down safe places to look out for Touched Ones. They are tempered sylphs in the distance. You do not sense that they pose a danger if left alone. Ah, if it isn't Enio, how went the meeting with the sylphs? A missive from the sylph elder himself, if I may. So the sylphs have no desire for conflict, nor do they tend to summon Ramu. So long as we leave the Temper Ones be, we did not fear any aggression on their part. The Elder Seedseer will be overjoyed to hear that the sylphs have welcomed our overtures, and in knowledge that they bear us no ill will, we may channel our resources towards tackling the more conspicuous threats to our security. You have done this nation a great service, my friend. On behalf of all Grenadians, I give you my thanks. The Sylphic folk have long been friends to Grenadia. The mere thought of being at war with them pained the Elder Seedseer to no end. But, owing to your efforts, she will be able to rest easier. Being the benevolent soul that she is, my lady will surely try to find a way to reverse the tempering process. Once again, I thank you. Had the Science of the Seventh Dawn not offered to mediate between our peoples, suspicion and doubt may well have led us into needless conflict. Pray pass on my regards to Lady Minfilia. Hello? Hello, Enio, can you hear me? It is I, Minfilia. Ida and Papalamo returned some little while ago, and they wasted no time regaling me with the tale of your exploits. Thanks in large part to you, the name of one problem may be struck from our list of enemies, and the Grenadians may turn their attention to more pressing matters. Well done. Yet the end of one tale is but the start of another. Pray return to the Waking Sands at your earliest convenience. I would apprise you of the present situation in person. Ataru, it's been a while. Well, if it isn't my favorite adventure, welcome back, Enio. Lady Minfilia awaits you within the cellar. Please enter at your leisure. Oh. I am given to understand that the matter of Ramu has finally been resolved. I fear resolve bespeaks a permanence we cannot rightly claim. Yet, I am well satisfied that the Lord of Levin will not trouble us in the foreseeable future. Your satisfaction is assurance enough for me. How fares the investigation? Well enough. Thancred is sparing no effort. They are many and one, just as you suspected. Their purpose, however, eludes us still. I see. I have been meaning to ask, but is Alizel quite well? I feel as if I have scarcely seen her in recent days. Oh, you haven't. And nor have I, alas. Alize has chosen to walk on her own path. Let me try that again. Oh, you haven't. And nor have I, alas. Alize has chosen to walk her own path. Stubborn girl. But you may be assured that our destination remains the same. And on that note, I take my leave of you. I trust the Baldesian report will serve you well. I take it we can proceed as discussed. Why do you ask? You scarce need my permission to act. It is good to see you again, Enio. Yay. I have been looking forward to congratulating you on your triumph in the Twelveswood. Owing to your efforts, conflict has been averted. Truly, you have done the Scions proud. With that, we can strike Ramu from the list. So who's next? The Tagin and Leviathan? The Lord of the Horror has not answered his minion's call of late, nor is he expected to do so in the near future. While the Sahagin remain as aggressive as ever, they lack the quantity of crystals required to call forth their god. As with the Sylphs, we can leave them to their own devices, for a time at least. For a time bears repeating. We can ill afford to call... Wait, let me try it again. For a time bears repeating. We can ill afford to fall complacent. It is as Ystilla says. Unless we know the minds of the beast tribes, we cannot predict with any certainty when next the primal will return to plague the land. This being the case, we must proceed with as much haste as prudence allows. Any word on Titan? The maelstrom keeps the kobolds under constant observation. We shall hear from them ere long. You may depend upon it. Indeed. So then, of all the known primals that have been active in recent times, we are left with... Yay! Grenadia! Wait, I mean Garuda, who is the primal of the exile who live near Grenadia. Yes, that's what I meant. So many miles to cover. Would that there be a more efficient way to conduct our surveys? Were he still with us, we should not long have wanted for a more practicable solution. She's not wrong there. Where in the world are you, Chief? But one sure step at a time. Henceforth, the Order of the Twin Adder will handle all matters pertaining to the Sylphs, under the sage guidance of the Seaseers. I bid you all enjoy a moment's respite. You have earned it. Is there something else, Enio? Yes. Beg pardon? A man named La Habria sporting a red mask and robed in black. 12 preserve. Prior to the calamity, the Asians took great pains to remain hidden. Why would they choose to cast off their veil of secrecy now? Gods, this bodes ill. We must take advantage of the present lull in primal hostilities and investigate this La Habrea. Learn all we can of him and his designs. I read to the... Eek! The Taru. A sylph in Thanalan? At long last, this one finds walking one Enio. This one is most dependable of these ones. Is sent by elder one Frixio to help walking ones. This one is called Noraxia. This one comes as a friend. Let these ones be friends. Thank you, Khaled. Pleasure to meet you, Noraxia. Yes, Tataru is as ready to express her fright as she is to express everything else. Not all of us are forged of the same steel as you, I'm afraid. But it takes all kinds to make a family, and it pleases me to no end to see ours continue to grow. One by one, the people of Erzia are beginning to unite, Enio, drawn to the hope that shines within you. Yet, a darkness threatens to engulf this light. Never have I doubted the Ascians' presence, but that they have grown so brazen as to carry out their work in plain sight fills me with a sense of deep foreboding. I am afraid there is no rest for the weary, and we must delve further into the motivations of the masked man, the Ascian known as La Habrea. This is an ideal moment to do so, while our hands are not bound dealing with another primal. At present, we know little and less about the Ascians, only that destruction follows in their wake. I should not be surprised if these beings are behind the chaos that racks the realm. If my fears proves to be reality, we must do all in our power to stop them. Earlier, I sent word to each Grand Company to solicit cooperation. The Immortal Flames responded to the effect that they have information on a potential sighting. This is intelligence that we can all ill afford to ignore. Go speak with Flame Commander Swift at the Hall of Flames in Ulda to inquire further. How you go about the investigation thereafter, I leave wholly to your discretion. But whatever you do, never forget that we are dealing with the unknown. You cannot take too many precautions. Be safe, Enio. The masked man? Ah, you are come on behalf of the Scions, of course. Yes, as we've already related to Lady Miphilia, there has been a sighting of this rogue near about Eastern Thanalan. A brass blade stationed at Highbridge described him in detail when he alerted us to suspicious activity. I would point you to the witness, but I'm afraid he died not 2 days ago, slain by a marauding horde of Kikirn. Fate can be a cruel mistress. But do not be too quick to despair. Being situated on a trade route, Highbridge sees its fair share of travelers. Folks are always coming and going, and some among them may well have caught a glimpse of your target. You could do worse than to speak with a merchant named Hihibaru. The fellow's always starved for customers, and he'd no doubt welcome your attention, whether or not you have coin or the mind to spend it. Welcome to Highbridge, adventurer. Whatever you seek, I, Hihibaru, can provide it. Probably. You're after a masked man. I'm not sure I have one of those in stock. Oh, you're after a masked man. Why didn't you say so sooner? Such an individual might have featured in one of the many rumors I've heard. If you linger a while, mayhap you learn a thing or two, eh? When the Order of Naldatal began excavating the ruins below, I had hopes that Highbridge would turn into a bustling hub for pilgrims. But thanks to the nigh-endless beastman raids, folk are too afraid to come within a mile of here. I sold everything I owned to get my venture started, and I am loath to give up without making an earnest effort to stick it out. But if things keep going as they are, I'll be bankrupt before the moon is through. Whining won't do me any good though. No, for my business to survive, I need business. Speaking of which, perhaps you'd like to browse my wares. Spend a bit of coin to help a struggling merchant. The masked man? Oh, that'll take your bloody best man. I know what I said before, but vague rumors are all I've got. If you want to know about him, go and ask the other merchants. Hey, I've heard tall of the masked devil. Seems he's been appearing not only around Highbridge, but elsewhere about Thanaland too. Enough folk have reported seeing him to convince me he's more than a figment of the imagination. But little is known about him otherwise. On the trail of a masked man? I have heard of him, but only in hushed tones and faint whispers. It's said he wears a black hooded robe and looks right suspicious. And that's about all I can say, little though it is. Have I seen a masked man wearing a dark robe? No, I haven't, nor do I wish to. Business is bad enough without shady characters lurking about. Folk have been giving Highbridge a wide berth because of all the Kickerin raids. None but the most devout of pilgrims are willing to come here anymore. Judging by your expression, I take it you didn't learn much of use. Look, I'm sorry for my rudeness earlier. It's just that things are tough for us merchants at the moment. The Kickerin raids are so constant, so organized. We're beginning to suspect that someone is orchestrating it all. I tend to put my own welfare first, like most of us do, but that doesn't mean I'm a bad person. I promise to keep an eye out for your masked man. If I see or hear anything, you'll be the first to know. I've finally got some honest-to-God's information in your masked man. Why so confident? Because I saw him with my own two eyes. I was out for an evening stroll, minding my own business, when I noticed a column of smoke rising from a cliff over at Tal's Respite. Curious, I took myself there to find a masked man. Your masked man. I'm sure of it, standing by a fire. As if in answer, some Kickerin appeared soon after, and the group began talking at length. I'm afraid I was too far out of earshot to hear much of anything. After the group had dispersed, an idea came to me. If you were to use this smoldering coal to start a fire, you might be able to arrange a similar meeting. It will be dangerous. It'll be dangerous. I shouldn't doubt, but you've proven yourself more than a match for a pack of rats. So, what do you think? That's some sound, reliable information, even if I do say so myself. Well worth all the lingering about you've been doing, wouldn't you say? Alright. Back so soon? Were you able to find any clues leading to your masked man? Oh, the scroll! It bears a prayer to Ruggel, the Destroyer. In case you're unfamiliar, Ruggel is the guardian deity of Alamigo, which is currently under Gallien rule. It's highly uncommon for folk of other nations to revere him. I'd wager my last guild that your assailant was Alamigan. It seems this masked man of yours is very well connected. I must confess, the merchant in me envies such a diverse network of contacts. That self-same merchant also senses danger ahead, and darkness besides. Are you certain you'd rather not take things nice and slow here at Highbridge? The Alamigan bandit you had a run-in with is somehow connected to your masked man of mystery. So, it stands to reason that if you want to pick up the trail again, you should head toward Little Alamigo over in southern Tanalan. Just so you know what you had to expect, the settlement is the favored destination for those refugees who couldn't, well, adapt to life in Ul'dah. The hearts of the denizens are said to be as barren as the wasteland they live in. And for all intents and purposes, it's a lawless place. Be prepared for a not-so-warm welcome. Now, I'm not certain how much of a help she will be, but it just so happens I have a daughter who has relocated to Little Alamigo. Her name is Hihira, and it shouldn't hurt to seek her out first. And while you have your attention, I'd be obliged if you could send my love. Not a day goes by that I don't think of her. I suppose this is it, then. I had hoped you would linger here a while, call some fiends, spend some coin, what have you. But something tells me you're destined for greater things. Whatever it is you end up, I wish you the best. Why yes, Hihibaru is my father. He said, what? I wish I could be a better daughter to him. It's just that, I'm sorry. I shouldn't bother you with my family matters. But I'm grateful to you for delivering the message. Now then, what brings you here? A masked man? I'm afraid the description doesn't ring any bells, but one of the others here may have seen something. I would recommend you first speak with Gundobald, the leader of the settlement. I must warn you, though, he isn't exactly accommodating to outsiders. Who are you? State your business and be quick about it. Looking for a masked villain, you say? And why should we help you, pray? We struggle enough without having to answer the whim of every outsider. You are not welcome here. Be gone. Well met, adventurer. I'm Giselbert, head of security here at Little Alamigo. I heard tell that you had business with Gundobald. Knowing that bristly old bear, I don't doubt he told you to bugger off. Owing to their hardships, the refugees don't trust anyone but themselves. Not even my men and I can get so much as a word of thanks out of them, despite watching the place day and night. But thanks or no, I try to help my fellow man when I can, and you seem a decent sort. If you tell me what's brought you here, might be as I can lend a hand. On the trail of a masked villain, you say? Can't say that sounds familiar. But I have been on lookout for a Malja to the south of here. If there's been any suspicious activity, they are like to have seen it. I had a mind to take them each a cup of sweet Thailand tea so as to lift their spirits. If you were to run this little errand in my stead, they'd be all the more willing to tell you what they know. Who the hells are you? Trying to conserve energy here, so leave me alone. Well, ain't ye considerate? My thanks, friend. What's that? A masked villain? Hiding among the refugees, like as not. Me compatriots as live here go about as though they're dead on their feet. It's near impossible to tell what's on their minds. For all I know, they're all up to no good. You there! Are you an Amalja? No. Then carry on. Ah, this sophisticated aroma. It has been forever since I had a drop of sweet Thailand. I'm gonna enjoy this. What? A masked man? Don't know, don't care. Unless he's got dark scaly skin, stands 10 palms tall, and has the face of a lizard, then I don't give a mummer's fart. Shoo! Shoo! Don't bother me. If the Amalja overruns us, I'm blaming you. For me? You shouldn't have. Sorry? A suspicious masked man? As a matter of fact, I caught a glimpse of someone fitting that description during patrol. Well, I couldn't make out whether it was a man or not, but with the mask and the robe, but assuming it was a he was talking with some Alamegans. I assumed he was one of them. Ah, you're back. So, Did my lookouts have aught to share with you? That doesn't sound like much to go by. If you are to get any further in your investigation, seems to me you'll need the cooperation of the Alamegans. For this, you'll need to win their trust, and that won't be an easy task. So, you're determined to press on with your investigation? Then I have some advice to offer. As I said before, you won't get far without the Alamegans' trust, and the best way to win that trust is to get a compatriot of theirs, someone they respect, to vouch for you. Coin does the talking in Olda, but the Alamegans are bound by something far stronger, if not as tangible, a common purpose. That purpose is, of course, the liberation of their home for the Galliens. Gundabad belongs to the Alamegan resistance, so your best bet would be someone who's part of the same crew. If you know any well-connected people, you might want to start by asking them. Welcome back, Enio. How fares the investigation? I see. Given all that they have suffered, it is of little wonder the Alamegan refugees have lost faith in their fellow man. They've had their homeland taken from them, and for the past 2 decades have had to see it remain in the enemy's clutches. To compound matters, none of the 3 city-states have the means to take in all those who were displaced. As a result, a great many Alamegans now live on the margins of society, suffering poverty and discrimination. Would that more could be done to ease their hardships? I fear that nothing short of reclaiming their homeland would be a lasting solution. But let us deal with one problem at a time. Returning to the matter of your investigation, it just so happens there is an Alamegan native among the Scions. I should be pleased to introduce him to you. Your Alamegan comrade is named Haribert. He joined our cause in the hopes that he might find a way to liberate his homeland. While he spares no effort towards the endeavor, I have no doubt that he would be glad to assist you. If I recall correctly, Herbert is currently between missions. Try looking for him in the storage area. If it isn't EnioHabev, the Science Rising Star, is there aught I can do for you? You wish to win the trust of the people of Little Amigo. That is a daunting task, my friend, even for our own countrymen. I would like nothing more than to help, but I'm afraid my name no longer carries weight with that lot. I used to be a member of the Alamegan Resistance, you see, but I left in favor of joining the Scions. Though my allegiance may have shifted, my purpose remains ever the same, the liberation of Alamigo. Yet, whatever my reasons were, I abandoned my comrades, and they have nothing to do with me. Now, while I may have no more friends in the Resistance, I know someone who does. Her name is Albrida, and she is a resident of Quarry Mill. Say my name when you meet her, and she won't lead you astray. Eh? You want me to introduce you to the Resistance? Why the hell should I do that? Give me just one reason. Herbert sent you? Grr, that worthless Orson. He abandons his comrades, his woman, and now he has the gall to ask me for a favor? Simply incredible. I realize Herbert was only doing what he felt was right. He's a good man. And if he trusts you, then that's all I need to know. You see that bloke there? That's Mifrid, a captain of the Resistance. I hope he can give you what you need. Hey, I'm Mifrid, a proud man of the Alamegan Resistance. What business do you have with me, adventurer? Captain, it's Gallien, sir. His wounds gone infested, and he's burning up. I don't think he's got much time. God damn it! I asked the villagers for aid. Got on my knees and begged, but they refused to lift a finger. If Gallien dies, his blood is on their hands. These quarter-mil cravens would turn a blind eye to our plight, but they might listen to Albreda. I fear my anger will prevent me from rightly convincing anyone at the moment. I realize we scarce know each other, but this is a matter of life and death. Please, adventurer, go to her and try. One of Milford's is in bad shape, you say? I'm sorry, but there's naught I can do. I want to help. Truly, I do. They're my countrymen, after all, but that means going against the elemental's will. I've been at Quartermill long enough to know how terrible the beings can be. I couldn't forgive myself if everyone gets banished because of me. If there's anyone who can help you, it'd be Charlene, the Hamlet's resident here. If you take the matter to her, might be as she'll listen, though I wouldn't get my hopes up. You wish to aid Alamegans? You are possessed of a kind heart, adventurer, but I'm afraid I have not the authority to grant you your wish. This authority belongs only to the elementals, eternal guardians of the Twelswood. All outsiders, be they babes at the breast or men grown, are judged of a night whether they may have a place beneath the boughs. Alas, the Alamegan's petition has been denied. Harsh though as it may seem, they do not have to leave to receive of the wood's bounty. Ever has it been since time immemorial, and ever shall it be. That's how it's to be, then. The bloody hero might as well kill Gallien herself. Spit on the elementals and spit on their bloody will. I cannot wait until resistance is free of this place. I led my men to Quartermill, hoping to find refuge. Instead, we found indifference. The cold-blooded bastards here want us out, and I can't oblige them soon enough. The problem is, some of mine aren't fit to travel. Hell's Gallien can't even stand. As you well know, the people of this accursed Hamlet won't help us. So I have no choice but to turn to you, adventurer. In my homeland, long antelope horn is a traditional remedy with poison purging properties. If you could bring me, say, 4 horns, I'd forever be in your debt. The rule 4s. Ah, you're back. Tell me you've got 4 horns with you. You're a godsend, adventurer. Praise Ralgard, there's at least one man in this place who gives a damn. Now, we just need to find a way to prepare them. You wouldn't happen to know a man named Buscarron, would you? Some comrades of mine told me about him once. They said he never turns away folk in need, no matter where they're from. Seeing as he runs a tavern, he's like to have the tools to make the medicine. I'd be grateful if you could take the horns over to him and have them ground down. When that's done, bring the powder back and give it to Faramund here. Godspeed. Ah, Enio, ever a sight for sore eyes. How fares the adventuring? Rolling in the coin like there's no tomorrow, no doubt. You've got something to show me? Well, these look like good old antelope horns. Need them ground down to make a medicine, you say? Here's a better idea. I'll give you some of the stuff I have in my stores. Hey, I'm no stranger to the remedy. An Alamegan friend once used it to treat my festering wound years and years ago. Safe to say, he saved my life. What's that? This is for an Alamegan soldier in Quartermill? So it comes full circle. Well, I hope it helps the poor sod as he needs it. Oh, and don't worry your little head about the payment. I still owe you a deal more than you owe me, I reckon. It is well to see you returned. Have you the medicine for our brother? Gods bless you, adventurer. I'll see that Gallien receives treatment at once. Hopefully, this will allow the captain to rest easier. It has been a terrible burden on him, trying to keep every man alive. You've done us a great kindness, friend. Adventurer, Gallien has gone missing. He's nowhere to be found. He shouldn't be walking about, not with those wounds. If he doesn't get the proper medicine and rest, his condition is like to deteriorate to where it was before. Or worse. We need you to help us find him, and quickly. Start by asking Albreda. Might be as the woman seen something. Ah, finally. It's about time you came asking about Gallien. I watched him leave Quarrymill some time ago. and he left me this sealed letter before he went off. Made me swear not to open until someone came asking. My brothers, I cannot bear to be a burden any longer. That is why I must leave you all. Do not worry for me. Just find your way safely to Lil Alamigo. Blast it. Would I have known what he was thinking? I'd have stopped this folly myself. The love Gallien bears for his brothers is so strong, he's willing to sacrifice himself for them. Make no mistake, entering the wood in his weakened state is suicide. Out in the wilds? Alone? That fool! That great big sentimental fool! My men and I will scour the wood for Gallien. Please help us find him before something terrible happens. But watch out! A goblin! There we go. Gallien! Captain, but why? You should all be on your way. Why do you take... Hold on a second, let me try again. Who do you take us for? We're Alamegans, and Alamegans never forsake one another. Hardships be damned. Remember the oath we swore, gosh damn it. The oath to reclaim our homeland. We'll set foot on Alamegan soil again. Together, or not at all. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. Good. Let us return to our brothers. And don't even think that you'll get off lightly. As soon as you're healed, I'll give you such a thorough thrashing you'll wish we didn't find you. I can't thank you enough for saving Gallien. I will see you back at Quarry Mill. Gallien's expected to make a full recovery. We'll linger here till he's strong enough to take to the road again. As much as I mislike this place, beggars can't be choosers. Now that things are relatively settled, I seem to recall that you wanted something of me. You've proven a true friend to my people. Ask of me anything and it's yours, so long as it's mine to give. The cooperation of the people of Lil Amigo? That's all? Far be it from me to question your desires, of course. Very well. I will provide you with a letter to show to Gandabald. The old bear was my mentor when I first joined the Resistance. He's intimidating to those who don't know him, but he takes care of his own. I've no doubt that he will do all in his power to aid you. Why have you returned? You are not welcome here. I thought I made that clear. You spoke with Mifrid. It has been so long since I last heard from him. I had feared him dead. 12 be praised. Whoever you are, Mifrid sees you as a friend, and any friend of Mifrid is a friend of mine. I know of this masked stranger you seek, and will tell you what I can. An outsider resembling your masked stranger has reportedly been appearing near Lil Alamigo of late. What's more, it seems that some of our young bloods are meeting him in secret. No doubt you'll want to question them about their trice, but they are not like to yield the information readily to an outsider. If you tell them I sent you, though, they may well feel obliged to talk. A masked man? No idea what you're talking about. I ain't done nothing wrong, so leave me be. Gundabald sent you? Listen, I told them it was a bad idea. All that tribe about believing the masked man, and... You don't know anything about this? Why didn't you say so to start with? You can't throw the old bear's name around like that and expect me to think I'm an inmate for it. Do not mind her. It's not that she hates you. She hates everyone. What? Have I been meeting any masked men lately? Let's see. Nope, can't say I have. But I'll be sure to tell all my friends you're looking for him. There's a bunch been skulking about right suspicious like, but I got nothing to do with them. I know trouble when I see it. And that there's trouble, mark me words. So, you have indeed confirmed my suspicions about a masked man. That is most troubling. Whatever the young ones are scheming, it can lead to no good end. There's an anger inside them. I can see it in their eyes. I ought to know, for it once burned him within me as well. 2 decades ago, that same anger drove me and my brothers to rise against the despot who ruled Alamigo. Naught would do but to depose him and usher in revolution. Well, we got a revolution all right, but it cost us our freedom. Blinded by our hate, we didn't realize that we'd been dancing to the Empire's tune. By the time we did, it was too late. Alamigo had fallen. There are times when a man must be patient. Now is such a time, though the young ones know this not. Unless we intervene, they are like to commit grave folly. If you learn all of their plans, I would thank you to bring word to me. Hey, adventurer, you done talking with the old bear? I got a message for you from Wildred. Lad's something of a leader among the young ones here. He's impressed that you've won over Gundabald, and wants a word with you. Says he'll be waiting over at the craggy area north of here. Thanks for coming, friend. There's no ordinary outsider who can gain the trust of the old bear. That's why I wanted to meet you, to discuss something in private. Tell me, why are you snooping about? Did the Empire send you, or someone else? Quarrel got your tongue? No matter. Whoever it is you work for, your meddling ends here. Get him! Go. I won't let you foil our plan. You're stronger than you look. This changes nothing. Threaten us, beat us bloody all you like, but nothing short of death can make us give up our fight. We're going to obtain the power to bring down the Empire, and with it, we'll reclaim our homeland. Attacked by Wildred and his cronies? That they would go to such lengths for the sake of this plan of theirs? Left to their own devices, the young fools are like to harm others, if not themselves. We must uncover their agenda and put an end to this madness. Wildred mentioned obtaining the power to bring down the Empire. Of what power could he be speaking? Gundabald! Bertliana! God's preserve. What happened? I was out foraging when the Corpse Brigade came. They took me to their hideout and the whole while they laughed at me. They said that I suffer because I cling on to hope. Is it wrong to dream of home? Is it wrong to call ourselves Alamegans? Do not heed such poisonous notions, child. Our dreams are what sustain us. Be strong, I swear to you. Those villains will answer for their crimes in due time. But tell me, does anyone else know of this? Wildred, he saw me outside. He was so angry. I must tend to Bertliana. In the meantime, I need you to find out what the young ones make of this. I fear that they may do something rash. What those animals did to Bertliana is unforgivable, and to think they looked down on us. Well, I'll suffer this humiliation no more. I'm with Wilfred to the bitter end. I'm not afraid of a few lizards. If this plan succeeds, we'll have the power to lay the Empire low, to change the world for the better. Might be as Gundabald's content to eke out an existence in this musty old cave, but I'll be damned if I'm going to spend the rest of my life here. Now, where in the seven hells did I put that bloody map? Oh, mighty Ralgar, Lord of Destruction, we implore you, lend us your strength and put an end to the suffering of your people. Here to interfere again? Well, you're too late. Our plan is already in motion. Once we have the crystals, our enemies will pay for their crimes, and no one will dare oppress us ever again. Gone? The whole lot of them? Then it is as I feared. They mean to take the matters into their own hands. But what exactly is it they mean to do? What's this? A hunting knife? And a map of Zanrak? Wait, you said Wildred spoke of crystals, did you not? What they could possibly mean to... By the gods, this is rank madness. The young fools are untrained and unblooded all. They have no notion of how dangerous the Amalja are. They'll be butchered before they get within 100 yalms of the crystals. They are headed east. If we hurry, we may yet find them before it's too late. Wildred, did no others survive? This is all wrong. Getting the crystals was supposed to be the start. We were going to reclaim our homeland. We... Pull yourself together, lad. We were just going to make an offering of crystals to Ralgar. To summon him. Just like the masked man taught us. We plotted to sneak into Xanarak and make off with the Lizardman's cash. But they caught us. And... so many dead. Gods forgive me. Heathens, you shall pay for your crimes with your souls. I regret our young one's transgressions, but a soul is too high a price for youthful folly. For all their failings, they are the hope of the Alamegan people. This I hope I will guard with my life. That's it. That's it. Your skills at arms is impressive, adventurer. Our wayward youths could learn much from a man like you. The battle is won, but it would be unwise to linger here. Let us return to Little Alamigo. Wait! We've come all this way. We have to get the crystals. They're right there, right for the picking. Have you learned nothing, Wildred? Did you not see those tempered wretches? Such is the fate of those who are touched by a god. Is that what you desire for yourself and your friends? What? No one said anything about... The masked man told us we could defeat the Empire if he summoned Ralgar. He swore... Enough! I will hear the rest of this sorry tale back in Lil Amigo. I dare say Enya will wish to hear it as well. No more lies, Wildred. Tell us everything. Well, I was outside with the others when he appeared. The masked stranger. He told us about summoning Ralgar, about using crystals, and then just vanished. We never saw him again. I wanted so desperate to believe that we could raise ourselves from this squalor that I never stopped to question his motives. But I should have known. There is no solution. Nothing we can do to change our lot. Our people are doomed to live and die like beasts. Listen to me, Wildred. Our home may be lost to us, but it takes more than stones and mortar to define who we are. No matter where we may be, Alamigo lives on within us all. It is for you to decide what to make of this legacy, but whatever you choose to do with your life, never forget that you owe it to this adventurer, an outsider. I won't. I promise. Thank you for saving me, and sorry I tried to kill you. My thanks as well, friend. It gives us hope to know that there are kind souls such as you out there. Little Amigo may not have much in the way of comfort, but you will always be welcome here. Would that we have had more information to offer, but what Wildred told you is that the extent of our let me try it again. Would that we'd had more information to offer, but what Wildred told you is the extent of our knowledge of the masked stranger. Left unchecked, that man will bring about great pain and suffering. I pray that you'll find and put a swift end to that creature, for the sake of the young ones who died by his poisoned swords. Welcome back, Enio. I'm reliably informed the investigation took you to Quarmia on Little Amigo. So tell me, were you able to learn aught at La Habrea? No. Planted the knowledge of summoning in impressionable young minds, you say. Precisely the kind of deception the Asians would employ. While many of the ills that ail the land can be attributed to calamity, some are being brought about by a malign will. We must needs delve deeper into this, while things remain quiet on the primal front.
All work and no play makes Minfia dull scion.
Did you say something? Nothing, my lady. Ahem. Mayhap we ought to rest a while before speaking further in the investigation. While you were tending to business in Thanalan, some new information arrived courtesy of our friends, the Silps. An individual fitting Lahabrea's description has been sighted in the North Shroud. This sighting comes in the wake of a series of mysterious deaths in the selfsame area. My instincts tell me that our man is involved. I would have you continue your investigation where you left off, 12 willing. We will pick up Lahabrea's trail once more. Norexia can furnish you with the details. Pray speak with her and take it from there. As always, be careful out there, Enio. Walking One is to investigate Sinister One? Then heed well this one's words. This one is friends with a Walking One in the Ashgrant Consortium. According to Friendly One, a Digging One named Midrod had an encounter with a scary Masked One. This Masked One is most certainly Sinister One. Walking One should go and speak with Digging One Midrod. Digging One is to be found at Fallground Flout in the North Shroud. Please leave me be. I'm not long for this world. I look death in the face. It's only a matter of time before it comes for me. It's just like he came for that poor woman. You're right. It's not as bad as it seems. I saw something terrible, that's true, but that hardly means I'm going to suffer the same fate. Thanks to you, I can think straight again. I believe I can even recount what I saw without losing it. It was just another ordinary day. I was headed back to the float when I noticed a suspicious character in the distance. A masked man, garbed head to toe in black. He had a hideous fiend in tow. A winged creature that was all eyeball and jagged teeth. Taken by curiosity, I crept as near as I dared. To see the corpse of a woman! One glimpse was enough to tell me that she died a gruesome death. In that instant, I knew right away that the masked man was a minion of Thal, come to claim her soul for his realm. What? You are investigating this same masked man? If that's the case, we'll help you in whatever way we can. Hey, anything to ensure that we won't have to suffer Midrod's hysteria ever again. Alright, teamwork. That's what I wanted to... Wait, I haven't been that bad, have I? At any rate, I'm all for helping this adventure. It's the least I can do to repay him for comforting me. So, here's what I want to know about the deaths. All the victims were found with their faces torn to shreds. Among the local fauna, only the scalekin known as Ziz could inflict such wounds. That's why some folk are pointing the finger at them. I somehow doubt that the answer is that simple, but for the sake of thoroughness, we should look into it. Why don't you put down, say, 3 of the creatures, and see if you can find any proof connecting them to the deaths. Rule of 3 again. Alright. You've already seen to the Ziz? Good work, adventurer. So, were you able to find out to suggest that the creatures are culprits? Nothing? Truth be told, even if there were proof, I wouldn't know what it looked like. Anyway, I believe we can safely strike Ziz from our list of suspects, which leaves us with the masked man and his winged eyeball. There's something else I've heard about the deaths. It appears all the victims have been comely maidens. I better watch myself, eh? Unseemly japes aside, there's a rumor been going around. There's some has whispered that after each victim died, Her rancor went into the great big rock southwest of here, causing it to flash and moan. This bears investigating, I reckon. I'm going to give you a fire sand stick to blow up a piece of that crag. The stick doesn't come with a fuse or anything, so you'll have to throw the thing. Once you've thrown the rock a new one, bring back some of the fragments, and I'll give them a gander. Most folk are too scared to go within 100 yalms of the Rock of Rancor, eh? He has a name. But what's few vengeful spirits to a dauntless adventurer like you, eh? Huh? Why, these are just your garden variety crystals. It's a bit hard to tell beneath all the dirt and grime, but they're definitely lightning aspected. I almost hate to say it, but that explains the flashing and moaning. Nothing to do with the masked stranger. Looks like I've gone and wasted both of your time, and a perfectly good fire sand stick. Oh well. There is something you should know. I have been keeping this to myself, lest I worsen Medrod's paranoia. But I too have seen the winged eyeball. I cannot say whether it was coincidence, but my sighting took place precisely the same time as Medrod's. I was heading home after a day of digging when a shadow fell over me. Looking up, I find myself locked in a cage with a giant eyeball. I let out a scream at the top of my lungs and ran without once looking back. This happened at the rocky area west of here, in case you had a mind to investigate. Alright, a monstrous Banimite appeared and you slew it? That creature had long been a scourge upon the folk of Folgord. Intentional or no, you have done us a great service. You have my gratitude. But this does make me wonder, was it truly a winged eyeball I saw? Or merely a trick of light combined with a blind panic? There have been no promising leads in the murders. I can scarce get a wink of sleep knowing that the killer is still at large. Judging by your furrowed brows, I take it this sorry business troubles you as much as it does me. I have been pondering my encounter. I was uncertain for a time, but there can be no doubt. It was a winged eyeball that I witnessed. It's implausible that I could have mistaken so distinct a creature for a Banimite. But you and I were moms apart. How could we both seen it precisely at the same time? What's more, our adventurer friend here had a run-in with the Banimite at the very spot you claim to see that fiendish eyeball. Isn't that right? There must be an explanation. I know I saw an eyeball with wings. I would wager an apple tart on it. Oh, he's serious. But listen, mayhap it's not as mysterious as we're making it out to be. There's no reason why there couldn't be... Gods, of course. There must be more than one of the buggers. Oh, it's so obvious. But then that means, since there have been repeated sightings of these fiends, then there must be even more victims as yet undiscovered. I do believe we're out of our depth. We ought to leave the rest to the expert. Yes, we're just civilians, after all. Good luck, adventurer. It was a pleasure knowing you. While I burn to know the truth, some things are best left unknown. Lest you have forgotten, it was at the rocky area to the west that I had my encounter. Should you discover out of note, you will want to alert the authorities. There is a guardhouse nearby. The serpents there should be pleased for any information that pertains to the security of the region. And a floating eye. Greetings, adventurer. Is there aught I might assist you with? Gods be good. Not again. No matter how many bodies I see, I cannot seem to get used to that horrid sight. Poor woman. Identical deaths have been reported in the central shroud. while the masked stranger you seek does not seem to feature in any sightings of the winged eyeball that are common enough. The creature appears to be moving the bodies, but to what end, none can say. The victims have all been young women. All are found with their faces mutilated beyond recognition. It's been difficult to identify them, so as to notify their next of... This button, engraved a lily motif. The very same object was found upon another victim. A family sigil, or that of an organization, perhaps. Either way, I dare to hope that this find will prove pivotal in solving the murders. I would have you hold on to the lily button. You will need it to continue your investigation. While it isn't standard procedure to entrust key evidence to individuals, you have proven yourself reliable and resourceful in this matter. I see no reason why you shouldn't carry on your work. If I make a suggestion, you may wish to take the button to Grenadier and have it examined by Mylla. Mayhaps someone in her vast network of contacts can shed light upon his sigil. Good morrow to you, Enio. By your grim expression, I suspect you aren't here for scones and herb tea. Let me see. Lily sigils carved in tiny iron button. Well, isn't this a lovely little button? The engraving is quite exquisite, artisan level quality, I would say. Where did you say you found this? On a dead body. Lovely. Anyway, I'm afraid I do not recognize the lily sigil. You'll have to find the answer the old-fashioned way, by asking around. You could do worse than beginning with Bernadette over by the Atrat Plaza. She has a sharp pair of eyes, that one. Need help tracking down the owner of a button? That's certainly not a request I receive on a regular basis. Well, go on then. Show me what you have. Seems to be some manner of decorative button, reminiscent of those worn by the families of old. Though I cannot claim to know its sigil. However, I can say with certainty that the White Lily is a recurring theme in Grenadian culture. Alas, I do not know who would make a personal sigil of it. If there is a soul in Grenadier who does, it would be Sanglid over at the Lancers Guild. The woman makes a point of ruling all the citizens on a forename basis. Bernadette believes that I can help you. Well, that is rather a bold assumption to make. I will try to assist, never you fear, but whether or not it comes of it is another matter. Now then, what do you require of me? Fascinating. Work of this quality is rarely seen in the hands of ordinary Grenadians. The owner of this button is most certainly well-to-do. You may wish to take your search to the Gentry's ward, northwest of here. Wait, a memory comes to me. Of late, there has been a man who is perpetually seated at the bench by the ward's entrance. His name is Ursendel, and I distantly recall seeing a markedly similar button upon the breast of his jacket. I dare say he can tell you a thing or two about it. I do not believe we are acquainted. Pray leave me to my thoughts. The sigil of the Dartencourse family. How? How is it that you came to be in the possession of this button? From the body of a murdered woman? Her face, was it marred in any way? I had feared as much. I can no longer feign ignorance. I shall reveal to you the truth of the deaths, but on one condition. You promised to put an end to my lady's madness and free her from her torment. You have earned the right to call yourself a paladin, but how do others treat you? Do they recognize for what you are? Remember that fancy swordplay and well-polished armor do not make you a paladin. You must be just in your heart and strive always to be an exemplar of true virtue. Once, not so long ago, the Sultan Sworn could walk the streets with their heads held high. When they marched by, the small folk would look upon them with reverence and gratitude, and no one was more respected than the captain, my predecessor. When I first saw him, I was still a child. My father had promised to take me to a local festival, but somewhere he took a wrong turn. We became lost and stumbled into a secluded back alley. Luck was not with us, because the next moment we found ourselves in the middle of a riot. Drunken hunters were firing arrows into the crowd, and we were caught between them. There was no way out. It was only a matter of time before we would be struck. That's when the captain saved us from our plight. I have never seen a sword move so swiftly. It flashed faster than my eyes could follow, and in seconds the hunters were on the ground or fleeing for their lives. The captain was gone down the street, slicing at their heels, before my father had time to thank him, even today. I can see the captain as he was then, blood on his sword, armor impossibly bright in the sun. After that, all I ever wanted to be was a paladin. I would practice endlessly with my sword, dreaming of bandits, defeated and monsters slain. Wait, let me try that again. After that, all I ever wanted to be was a paladin. I would practice endlessly with my sword, dreaming of bandits defeated and monsters slain. Even after I became one of the Sultan's Sworn, the memory of the captain still inspired me. I was always the first to arrive in the training yard, and the last to leave. And so, the years passed, and before I knew it, I found myself named Captain of the Sultan's Sworn. Yet, the triumph was hollow, because by then, the honor of the Sultan's Sworn elite, that very thing that had drawn me to the Brotherhood, was a mere vestige, like the discarded banner of a defeated foe. There were many reasons for the fall, but the loss of an oath keeper. Yes, that was the mortal blow. The sword Oathkeeper was bestowed upon the first captain of the Sultan's Sworn by then the Sultan of Ulda. In time, it became our standard, the symbol of the oaths we had sworn, and it was treasured by each new captain for generations. Possession was proof of Sultan's Sworn command. But then the unthinkable came to pass. Oathkeeper was stolen by the traitor. It shook our brotherhood to the core. How can we be trusted to protect the Sultana if we can't even hold on to the symbol of our fealty? We have been tarnished in the eyes of ruler and ruled alike. If the Sultan's Sworn are to survive, we must find the traitor and recover Oathkeeper. But the Sultan's Sworn have grown too weak, and we cannot do it ourselves. We've been forced to recruit outsiders to help us in our cause. I have high hopes. Try again. I have high hopes for you, my friend. It is a great thing that we ask, and you must learn more of our secrets if you are to succeed. In Outer La Nocia, near the Hermit's Hovel, is a grove where ringtails congregate. Pitting yourself against the host of the beast would be a fine way to hone the skills that I will teach you. In the grove, you will find another brazier, this time filled with a potent incense that will drive the creatures into a frenzy. Defeat your attackers and return to me. To the other enemies here. There we go. That the last of them? Well done. You have taken the skills I taught you and made them your own. I still do not have word of where the traitor is hiding, but I will inform you the moment I do. Until then, continue your training. I was once a manservant in the employ of one of the oldest and proudest families in Grenada, the D'Artancourts. During that time, I had the honor of waiting upon Lady Amandine, mistress of the household. Fair as summer was she, yet possessed of a heart befitting her radiance. Alas, the calamity wrought a great change in her. Though my lady escaped with her life, that may well have been a kinder fate. Never will I forget the day her bandages were removed, and she beheld her disfigured face for the first time. At that moment, the kindly woman I knew ceased to be. Unable to bear the thought of being seen, my lady sequestered herself within her chambers and refused all company. This continued for many uneasy moons, until one day, without warning, she began receiving queer guests. None among us knew whence they came, these masked men, but my lady believed that they would help her to regain that which she had lost. So began the rites of rejuvenation. These rituals seemed innocent enough in the beginning, but grew ever more grotesque as time went by. Eventually, there came a day when my lady bound one of her handmaidens to her bed and proceeded to mutilate the poor girl's face. Suffice it to say, she did not survive the ordeal. It fell to me to dispose of her body. I performed the dreadful task as bade, obedient servant that I was. But when the time came to return to the house, my legs refused to move. I knew then that I could not go back to that place, not after the nightmare I had witnessed. So it was then I left Hawk Manor, my home for nigh on half a century. Long did I weep for the girl who was slain, and longer still for the woman that Lady Amandine had been. Yet one cannot weep forever, and I endeavored to put the matter behind me. Indeed, I had resolved never to speak of my experience until you appeared before me. My lady's madness must be ended, lest more innocent lives be lost. Lay her tormented soul to rest, as you swore to me you would. She awaits you at Hawk Manor, on the western edge of the central shroud. Go now. Go and do what must be done. There is no greater thrill than striving alongside like-minded companions to overcome the deadliest of challenges. May the wisdom you gain in the Hall of Novice serve you well in your adventures. Okay, almost got him. There we go. We did it. Yes, we did it. Yeah. Greatly done. Alright, cutscene. Darkness has taken root within these halls. Sprung from the most unlikely of seeds. One cannot help but admire the irrepressible spirit that quickened it to life. It is a pleasure to meet you at last, adventurer. You are every bit as intriguing as our master gave us to believe. It is no ordinary mortal who can acquire one crystal of light, much less 3. The crystals make you strong, and it is to that strength that the light is drawn. Hydaelyn chose well. A pity that your existence is irreconcilable with our own. We cannot well allow you to continue upon your present course. Alas, we came here not to play, but to take the measure of your strength for Master Lahabria. That task now accomplished, we take our leave of you. Fare you well, bringer of light. You are returned! What sights awaited you within the manor? What has become of Lady Amandine? You must tell me all. You see... So she went as far as to consort with devils. Would that I could have done more to prevent her fall. May she finally find peace in the beyond. I know not whether the masked men you encountered are the same pair that first led my lady astray, but it is plain that they are of the same vile brood. Should the chance ever present itself, promise me that you will visit upon them tenfold the woe they have brought upon others. But who am I to speak of punishment? By my silence, I allowed I know not how many innocent young women to die in unspeakable circumstances. It matters not. Wherefore, though misplaced loyalty, cowardice, or both, I am an arbiter to a gross crime. I will surrender myself to the authorities and accept whatever punishment they deem just. I only pray that the gods will have mercy on my soul. Welcome back, Enio. Full glad am I to see you safely returned. Tell me, how fared you on your sojourn in the Twelves Wood? So we had to kill this lady. 2 of La Habria's minions, and they sought to measure your strength by their own admission. The devils taunt us. It is beyond doubt, then, the Ascians have begun to move in earnest. Would that we knew to what end. Yet I will not bemoan our plight. Thanks to your tireless efforts, we are at least aware of the encroaching darkness. Alas, we can only do so much. It is clear to me now that we Scions are too few to protect the realm against this threat unaided. We must needs alert the 3 nations to the presence of this elusive enemy, and recommend that they heighten their vigil. There is no shortage of misery in the world that the Asians might exploit. We have an arduous struggle ahead of us. Yet, come what may, we must not allow ourselves to become lost to hope, for that is precisely what the enemy desires. We have gleaned all we can from the information available to us. Let us set this investigation aside for the present. Another matter has arisen that requires your attention. Let me know when you're ready to be briefed, and I will summon the others. Thanks for your time, guys. Take it easy, guys. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for being patient, and I'll see you guys soon. Later, everyone. Thank you.